Hey again. It's been a couple of days since the Super Bowl, and I've noticed online that there's been a lot of commentary about this Super Bowl. Super Bowl 60 was one of the worst, if not the worst, Super Bowl ever. And I can't have a real personal opinion about that because I didn't actually watch the game. All I did was watch several highlights and hear the commentators talk about it, former players and Hall of Famers and all those people talk about it. What's funny to me is a lot of the conversation is about the halftime show. I mean, personally, I think if you're talking about the halftime show about a Super Bowl, I guess it wasn't a good game. You're not talking about the game itself, just the halftime show and activities and who performed and like how they dressed and I don't know how nowadays it's like how woke was the halftime, how you know controversial was the halftime. It's like um are we watching the Super Bowl for the halftime now? I mean, the halftime has gotten fairly big over the last, I think, maybe 10, 15 years. So, I mean, the halftime, when I was growing up, halftime was something, I mean, when halftime hit, everybody would go get a drink, go get something to eat, go use the restroom, of course. uh, Listen to your wife or girlfriend complain, I don't know why you watch that stupid game. I don't understand. What's the big deal? A bunch of guys in tight pants running around touching and tackling each other. It's so gay. I guess I guess you have to have testosterone running through you to understand what's so appealing about football and all those other sports, baseball, soccer, basketball, things like that. That's so funny when my wife complains about me watching the games. This was a while back because I haven't been watching football for a few years now. You probably know why from a previous video. But yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, the Super Bowl meant something. I mean it's still a big thing, on television, now, especially now online and the internet and everything. Oh, it's starting to rain. Hmm. Anyway, but when I was growing up, I mean, I, I was going to a high school. I think I said this already. I was going to an old boys high school, and we literally didn't have any classes that day. Somebody would bring a TV or their TV, either color or black and white. Can you remember? Do you remember that when there was just black and white TV? I'm dating myself. This was back in the mid '80s, 1980s for you. You very young Gen Interact. I don't know what generation they call you, but way back when, yeah, my dad, my son, my son would make a joke. Dad, you went to school what year? Were there still dinosaurs back then, Dad? Anyway, a classmate or a teacher would bring a TV, and we would actually not have classes or studies. We'd actually watch the Super Bowl, and after the Super Bowl, it was like the game would be over at about maybe around 1 o'clock. So that's when we would go to lunch, and then after lunch, the rest of the day would be free. Like you could go home if you wanted to, or hang around and like do your books, or go outside and throw the ball around, things like that. That's when I went to high school. And yeah, the Super Bowls were a big thing then. I mean, the teams back then were badass teams. The Steelers, the Cowboys, my personal team, the Raiders. they were really good teams. The Washington Redskins. I mean, all these teams now that have been winning the Super Bowl the last 5, 10 years. The Kansas City Chiefs, the New England Patriots, and you know the those teams sucked when I was in high school. Those were teams that were at the bottom of the list of good. I mean, they were horrible teams back then. Oh, I forgot to mention the 49ers were a dynasty back then in the 80s. And I think that in the 90s it was mostly the Cowboys, and uh the team that I liked a lot was the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, they went to four straight Super Bowls. They lost all of them, but you know, they were a good team in the coming out of the AFC. So they went to four straight Super Bowls. They lost them, unfortunately, which that made me feel bad because they had good players and they deserved at least one of those. Anyway, I think that's enough ranting about when I was watching Super Bowls when I was a kid. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a nice day.